jumping into...
Get those summoner blockers.
Yep, I'm doing it, man.
Boom.
Doing it. Boom. You ain't gonna see no summoners use stream snipers. So we're gonna get into the bans right underway. Thresh. They've LZH for once gets their Thresh ban against them. It looks like NV might have done the research. So that is pretty good. Vayne is also banned out, so it looks like maybe LZH maybe they watched the NVE game, or maybe they saw after the game, they saw the report that was a really, really huge player in that. I would most likely going to see a new ban coming out as well. Jarvan 4, pretty good. Thank you, Dead Robots, for the pretty blockers. Yes, they're from our friends over at Uncut Gaming. They had a download link for that. Yes, there's the new ban. They're actually going to ban them out themselves. LZH actually banned them out themselves, so because they're not first pick, so they didn't want to risk it getting taken away from them.
That's very true.
It's a pretty safe thing to do, in my opinion.
Very strong in general, new.
Yes.
Of course, we saw the Vayne ban as well. Very, very strong AD carry. Of course, with the Thresh pick going out, not as strong. Of course, Blitzcrank can be pretty good if matched.
And
with
they said in the custom lobby, don't ban Karthus. So that might have been a little bit of we're all friends here kind of troll pick. And then the Twisted Fate is also another ban. Pretty
we
good.
See a lot of Twisted Fate
Karthus
bans
is a
going
pretty good person to ban. So I don't know. Maybe that was a bait. Maybe they're trying to tell him to not ban Karthus in hopes that they would. Also have a Zac pickup coming out as well. We've seen Zac in almost all the games. He was banned last game, so that's the only game that we actually didn't see it. And now we see him again, so that's going to be interesting. He's always a huge player in all the games. He does a lot of damage, and he's got a lot of disruption, and it's just huge to see what he can do. On the side of LZH, it's going to be interesting to see what jungler they pick to counter that.
Yeah, last game they had Nunu, who did pretty well, but now that they banned him themselves, I'm interested. I see the Rumble pick. I love the Rumble pick.
Glad's going to be so happy that
Nautilus
so glad.
As well.
Yes!
Nautilus most likely...
We got the Rumble pickup, alright.
Nautilus most likely going to be the jungler of the team. I would really doubt that he's going top, especially with that Rumble pick. Of course, Orianna, Fiddlesticks, very, very strong with that Orianna, though.
Yeah. And the support, he's going to be supporting on that Fiddlesticks. He's going to be doing that 3-second fear. It's going to be, woo!
He could be jungling, actually, now that I think about it.
Not Oh God coming in from Cashflow.
Nautilus, very interesting pick, I'm going to say, Cashflow. Janna coming down, great support. I want to see the AD carry that they're going to pick. Not going to reveal it quite yet. They're going to leave it for the last pick, it seems like.
Right.
Diana coming down for that mid, looks like, with Rumble, of course, going top. Very, very kind of beefy lanes coming out,
Right.
Rumble's not the tankiest of, solo laners, but he can...
His shield makes him kind of
definitely
tanky because he gets that, 100 or so health every
few seconds.
What is it, a 4-second cooldown?
It's a very, very short cooldown.
It's a cooldown as soon as the shield wears off up again, and it gives him move speed as well. I actually noticed a little fun thing coming in from LZH. Every single person on the team so far has their own shield.
There you go.
So we got the Caitlyn pick. She's a she's a standard AD carry. She does have that range that is really good, but other than that, I feel like since I didn't see the AD carry coming out from LZH,
it's a very safe pick.
Yeah, it was a safe pick. I would have liked to see a Draven. We haven't seen a Draven all day, and I don't know. It would have been really good to just see a Draven pick for one day, because if you play solo queue, he's like one of the highest banned AD carries in solo queue because he just face rolls early. So I would have really liked to see one picked up. So it looks like we're gonna have Renekton up top. Fiddlesticks support. I hope he doesn't go jungle. Yeah, there it is, the swap. We're going to go ahead and take off the blockers in just a few seconds because they
don't want to have any last-minute changes to those summoners trying to counter.
Trying to do some hitting
So it
counters.
does look like we're going to have a Fiddlesticks support with that Caitlyn. Could be kind of good, especially if someone gets caught by that trap from Caitlyn. They could be feared immediately afterwards, silenced. They pretty much they can't really do anything. Of course, it could work the other way around. They could get feared into walking into like a Caitlyn trap, which could be going up against the Varus Janna, which could be very, very good.
You can see the summoners, nothing really too good coming out, too interesting.
Lots of Ignites coming down.
2 tournaments ago, we saw one team that ran double smite. They ran it on their support, and it was just really good because they could just secure objectives really, really well. And I'm pretty sure the first game that they did it against a Nunu because the Nunu got into the jungle, so they're like, oh, Nunu has double smite. Well, we have double smite. Winning.
It was a good pick, actually.
It was a good pick, and they actually won the game. And they went double smite the next game and did pretty well with that too. But yeah, we're gonna have Renekton up top, Zac in the jungle, Orianna most likely gonna go mid, and Fiddlesticks is gonna be support with the Caitlyn. There's not much really, I don't know, sustain in that lane. Whereas Janna does have those hard shields, it's gonna be really helping out Varus a lot. So I feel like they're gonna have to recall more than Varus and Janna
or
are
just
gonna
play
have.
it safe, honestly. Like if
I'm
they
really
take a little bit
interested
of
to see this top lane actually. This top lane is gonna be fun.
the Rumble
like.
against the Renekton.
Because Rumble's gonna be like both of them.
Rumble's a huge bully when it comes to early games.
So is Renekton though. That's the thing.
If you can
They're
bully
both-
Renekton down enough, you can actually shut him down
So
really
Renekton
early.
and Rumble, both huge bullies. They're both huge lane bullies, but at the same time, they're both those people who you dive them, and then all of a sudden they just turn around and start destroying you. Both with their ultimates, they're just gonna throw it down, and they're just gonna regret. They're gonna make you regret diving. Renekton with his huge health gain and his AoE and
damage.
then Rumble always has those shields that are always coming up, so those are always surprising that you'll be like, I could throw out my last skill. So you like throw out your skill shot, and then you start walking away to get out of tower aggro, and then he just pops a shield and he doesn't die from it. So it's just like
Pops a shield, he's
gotta go
harpooning
back in.
you.
Gotta
you're
go back in.
slowed.
Or like you stay under there and all of a sudden his ult and his burn is just doing so much damage to you that
You
you're
just start
slowed.
melting.
Yeah. So
He can be very dangerous, and going up against, Renekton, Zac, I really wouldn't be surprised if he picked up like a Liandry's almost. It's not necessarily something you always see on a Rumble, but going up against really tanky opponents, I wouldn't be surprised because with his ultimate, with his with his constant ability pressure, with his harpoons and his flame spitter, it would stack big time with that Liandry's. Normal items used to picked up like Rylai, sometimes Abyssal Scepter, of course. And I always like to get movement speed just so you can keep on them. Because Rumble's all about, I'm going to stay right next to you.
but if you ever decide to turn around, I'm going to get away from you.
Yeah,
It's annoying.
I can stay right next to you if I want to, and then leave whenever I want.
Yeah.
And with his harpoons, if you get like a Rylai's, they're not going to be able to leave. There's no chance.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
kind of staying in the same mindset that he was with Singed.
Very.
Singed is like the same exact thing. I'm going to stay right on you until you decide to turn around, and I'm just going to run away because I can.
So
he's got the same mindset, and we've actually peaked over 21 viewers. So you guys know what that means, right? If we stay over 21 viewers at the end of the stream, that means one of these cards is going to be given away. If we get over 25, we're going to give away both of them. So please keep it up, guys. Keep it up, and enjoy the finals. Talk in the chat. We love to interact with you guys, so we're going to be there for you. We're going to go ahead and
get the hype.
Skin Wars, man. Skin Wars have been reigning supreme this entire tournament.
Let's get rid of that little overlay we had before of us saying that we were going to have a little
we are
1v1.
not in.
We're not having a 1v1 anymore. What is this?
Yes.
We are the best, Elf Lord.
Around.
Thanks. Totally.
Yeah, Elf Lord, we are the best. Thank you. So looks like the Skin War is going heavily in favor of
very,
LZH.
very in favor.
5-2 in skins. So let's see if the Skin War is going to reign supreme.
This is going to be tricky.
It's going to be tricky. It's going to be pretty good, but they have the cool Renekton skin, but they have some really cool skins. I love Frost. I am Frost, so Frost Queen Janna's near and dear to my heart. And Rumble in the Jungle is a very, very cool skin as well.
Yeah, it's good.
I like Astronautus's walk. He floats around.
He always does that. It's like he's underwater all the time. He just kind of like...
Yeah, but when he's on the moon, it's
I guess
more so.
It's just a different effect.
yeah, it's more so because he's on the moon.
Why are we analyzing skins?
I don't know.
Because you're a tool.
I got yelled at by Invalid for having Stone Chaos Orianna, so I had to sell it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I remember that. I don't know. That Orianna skin's not my favorite, in my opinion. It's kind of creepy. Orianna's
True Damage,
really...
twitch.tv/TrueDamage/new. What does that take you to?
What is new? I want to check this out. Is this literally...
The same exact thing?
Wow. It brought me to our own stream.
Good job, man.
Wow.
Thanks, dude.
What is the point of that?
I almost didn't know where the stream was, so...
I had to go to the news stream. Oh, you meant to put it in Skype. Okay. I was going to say...
Don't worry, we're making fun of you. We're having fun. We're having fun here.
Someone needs a main Rumble jungle. I don't think Rumble actually has that much sustain in order to jungle. Of course, he does have a shield, and he
Yeah.
kind of
I
hide
feel
around
like-
the jungle minions
Yeah,
a
I
little
feel
bit,
like
but
if
it's
he
not
had sort of supporty, if they were on the right, like if they were purple side per se, and he was starting blue, and he had his support kind of tank it up a little bit or something like that. I feel like once he gets to the first buff, once he has 2 abilities, once he has his shield and his flame spitter, I feel like that's gonna really be a power spike for him. in the
Yeah,
jungle.
I mean, anyone can really jungle. It's just whether how well they can jungle or
Yeah.
if it's even really
And
successful.
it's always the runes, because people are like, oh, I usually play AP Rumble.
30
Well,
seconds
you
until
can't just have
minions
straight AP runes in the jungle.
No,
Are you
definitely
guys
not.
getting stream lag, or is it just me? I don't know. Are you getting stream lag?
Let us know, guys.
Are you getting streamlined
I
over there?
seem to be doing just fine.
We are at
make sure it's fine.
768p. It's a little above HD, so
Some
it's an
people
awkward.
can have
Yeah,
a,
it's some people can't handle HD. Now we're not a partner with Twitch yet, so if you guys get popular enough, we can be a partner with Twitch, and we can offer lower quality stream settings. So that would for people
Minions
who
have
don't have the
spawned.
computers or the internet to run such high quality streams, but. We feel like we want to run a high quality stream because if you come in and it's a 360p stream, it's not going to look that good. So we don't want to just make our stream not look good, if you kind of get what I'm saying. So it looks like since it is the finals, both teams aren't going for really any
They're trying not
craziness.
to be too aggressive
Any
early.
craziness
They don't want to
really.
get caught
Yeah.
out.
They don't-
Lose
nothing-
a man right off the bat. That could be a large downturn.
Nautilus getting huge buffs with all their shields. He gets attack damage from Janna's shield, and he gets AoE plus magic damage from his shield. So like, he just has so much extra damage on that first blue.
Yeah, most definitely, and of course we saw Zach picking up his blue first as well, which, kind of interesting. I like personally to get the red buff with Zach first, just because he does use health.
Yeah, and you usually are like normally junglers start on bot side because you want to gank top or mid first, because it's usually really hard to gank bottom lane first because usually the wards are always there. So I would have started red buff on pretty much anyone on blue side. I usually pick my jungler based on what side I'm on. I usually don't play a mana hungry jungler if I'm on if I need to start red. So
Yeah, it's a good point. And
Good.
Orianna, with her ball, you can see she's very well controlling the lane. Diana, of course, being a melee mid laner.
But if Orianna ever gets out of position, she's gonna pay for it because Diana can just hold her there as long as she wants. Zach coming in for an early gank and onto Varus, putting the slows down, didn't catch the stun onto him. Doesn't look like it's gonna be much of a kill. Tornado gonna deter any further engage. Actually, the crow coming out from Fiddle almost took him down because they backed up as it was coming out, as it was traveling in the air, so the only thing for it to bounce to was each other, so it just kind of bounced in between them and did a bunch of damage, so that was pretty good for
At early
Fiddlesticks.
levels, Fiddlesticks can actually melt people so quickly, especially if you get kind of unlucky
This
with your
Caitlyn's
placement.
going really, really deep, almost getting 1v1 by the Janna. It was kind of funny. Support Fid too strong, yes it is. Zach's looking down in the bottom lane once again for a gank. He jumps in onto Janna, but I think that missed. Maybe she had to burn. No, she didn't burn anything. Up in the top lane, it looks like Renekton is being a little bit bigger of a bully. Fiddlestick's going to pink out that ward. That's going to be a good
Yeah,
good buy for
Rumble
him.
getting those rejuvenation beads early, of course, Renekton as well. Rumble needs to get a little amount of sustain, in my opinion, because he's not going to be able to out-tank this Renekton. That's definitely a for sure thing. Once he gets a little bit more damage, possibly, some Magic Pen, and maybe a little bit of Spell Vamp, maybe get like a Hextech Revolver, and then get like Sword Boots, he will be A-okay, I think.
Yes.
He'll be able to deal a little bit more damage and sustain just a little better.
Yeah, he does need that spell vamp, as you said. He's getting pushed under tower, so I feel like if Nautilus was gonna gank, it would be now. I mean, it is
Looking
worded.
at the map, you can
Renekton
see
knows.
he's
Yeah,
not.
Renekton knows. Renekton knows. I'm gonna push this lane. So he immediately he put a ward down in the river, so he knows because Nautilus isn't gonna most likely come through Rumble's Tribush to gank because that's just it's gonna be really, really hard to grab a pull from there. So I feel like Renekton has really good positioning for anything that's gonna be dished out.
Yeah, definitely. And Nautilus has some strong gank potential, but when it comes to just kind of dishing out damage, it's not definitely
It's good if the person decides to stay on them. If he decides to stay on them and he gets his full duration of his W, his bonus attack damage or magic damage on his basic attacks, he becomes a really good duelist. But when people are running, Nautilus is good at catching, but he's not good at executing.
Definitely, and that's kind of where Rumble could come in.
Boom. And Diana.
Yes, definitely. And even Varus Varus as well. With some of his abilities.
Chain of corruption.
Definitely.
Zach looking down here for a little bit of an elastic slingshot over the wall. Nautilus is finally going to the mid lane. He's going to miss the dredge line, and he's going to look for the snare, but that's also not going to come out. He doesn't want to tank any tower shots. It's not really worth it at this stage in the game. Finally, Rumble's going to be becoming the bigger bully in this lane. He's going to, because Renekton pushes him so far into the turret that it's really hard for Renekton to be poking currently, so looks like Zach is going to elastic slingshot into the mid lane. He doesn't go for it. It looks like the channel did end. Maybe he'll just stick around and look for another pick. Now Rumble's going to be pushing back as Nautilus is coming up to the top lane, so maybe he's going to try to push it out and go for a lane game. Fiddlesticks is going to come and get the fear and onto Varus. Going to get an easy tilt over Peacemaker. Tornado is going to be coming through very shortly. Caitlyn sidestepped it. Now is going in for the finishing blows onto Varus. Not going to find that. As the Rumble ultimate comes out on Directed and Nautilus is up. This is definitely going to be a first blood onto Nautilus.
Nautilus picking up that kill, that's actually going to be able to help a lot, especially down in the other lanes. But of course, getting a kill on either of those two, Renekton or Rumble, would have been fantastic. If Rumble picks up that kill early, he can get that Hex tag early. He can just stay in lane for incredible amounts of time to get so much more farm.
Caitlyn flashing in to get that last auto attack and then barrier so that the turret won't take her down. It actually almost does. So another kill coming in on this game on the side of Caitlyn down in this bot lane. Janna's going to shield up and she's going to go in for the last auto attack, but the beautiful elastic slingshot coming in from the back, that was completely and 100%, as the Sirens would say, baited and outsmarted.
Yeah, this Caitlyn's got to be very, very careful because, like we were saying earlier, she has no sustain really of coming from that Fiddlesticks. It's all going to be down to her and using her barrier.
They saw Zach in the bottom lane, and so immediately Nana said, "Hey Diana, come protect me. I'm going to come get this blue buff." That's what really happens when the buffs start coming back up, and they usually come up around 7:15, 7:20. Your first buff, and since Zach was blue, his came up around 7:15, 7:20. So as soon as he showed in the opposite lane, Nautilus just completely capitalized on that, and that is something you really need to watch for, is control of your buffs. And as soon as you lose that first buff, you don't have the timer on that anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you have the ward there, which he didn't. They have the general timer on it, but they don't have it exactly, and so it's gonna most likely turn into Nautilus's jungle unless they can make some sort of play next time.
Yeah, Zach's just gonna have to kind of roam around now and try and get more assists and or kills from the lanes now.
Orianna's really going to have to rely on that Chalice of Harmony to be her source of mana, because Diana just picked up her own blue, and now she's going to be A-okay and just going to be able to build straight damage and probably just pick up a Wrap Cap really early.
That could be very, very dangerous.
Or even a Rylai's. I love building Rylai's on almost every single mid laner that I play. I play Diana in Italy a lot in the mid lane, so I love a good shockwave into Let's Bounce is going to be doing a lot of disruption in this mid lane onto Diana. She might have to be forced to burn her flash. No, she puts the Ignite down onto Zach to make him not want to continue his dive. He did have his passive up, so it wouldn't have been too bad if he did, but the minions just aren't there to sustain Zach's blobs to be able to go back into create the big one cell that it divides from.
Yeah, definitely. And, they almost had enough in them to be able to continue and take down that Diana. And actually, we've seen Diana using her Luna Rush to go in on the Orianna. Will she be able to deal enough damage? Orianna be able to slow down Diana. Nautilus coming in. He does knock up that Zac. Will they be able to deal enough damage to take him down? They do. Oh, in fact, his passive is popped. Will they be able to focus it down? No, not yet. They have to. Yes, actually, Nos is able to focus it down in time while just outside that turret. And Diana, they're trying to find an opening to get into this Orianna, but not quite going to be able to get it because she's hugging that turret.
Yes. Basically, all they did with that play is they knew, hey, like Zach's in this passive. We don't want to sit here and attack all of them individually. We have a lot of AoE. We have Diana's Crescent Strike for shield and Nautilus's W and E. So they just sat around and waited for that. And now the support. Janna noticed that Fiddlesticks was roaming up to the mid lane. She just pinged out her teammates and just said, let's kill the Scarecrow, and they pretty much did that. So
Rumble being very aggressive.
Essentially, LZH has this game currently with a 700 gold lead and a 1 kill lead. Now it looks like they're going to be moving towards Dragon since they just killed the jungler and forced the mid lane and bot lane to back. So if they can burst down this Dragon fast enough, which it looks like they will be able to, and there's really no opposition coming from the side of MVP, so they're just letting them have this red buff. Rumble's actually doing a bunch of damage on Renekton in the top lane. I feel like if he used his ultimate and just went balls deep, he could easily be able to pick that one up. But Renekton, of course, does have that ultimate, and like I said earlier, they're both that kind of champion that you really want to dive, but it's not a good decision too. And now Zach's hanging up in that top lane, waiting for the dive, and as soon as that dive does come through, Rumble's really going to regret that. So we'll have to see what happens up there. Nautilus not really doing for much, just clearing out the mid lane for Diana. And Orianna starts to roll on top as the Renekton ultimate comes in. He's going to 1v2 onto this Renekton. The Ignite is going to take him down. Now he's getting chased down by Zach. Zach will be able to pick this one up. The shield, the scrap shield is going to be just enough to make him live for just a little bit longer, but the Orianna is here as well. Scrap shield, he's trying to juke him out. I don't think he's going to get out of this one. He does give up the kill to Zach. Doesn't give a kill to Orianna.
He might have almost been able to run around towards his turret as that Orianna ball was coming up. It had quite a large field. He popped his shield perfectly, and almost that movement speed that he received from it almost would have been enough to kill that turret, but in the end, he thought, I'm not going to get out of here. I'm just going to go towards the brush, try and get hidden for a second, and I might have enough time to deal a little bit more damage to Zach.
I feel like he really just didn't want to give any sort of assist gold or anything to Orianna, because she just wasted all that time coming into the top lane. You can see how much Diana's pressured the mid lane. She's taken down over half the turret, and she's gotten a CS lead, and she was even able to burst down Orianna a little bit.
Yeah, it's another good point as well. And, you know, Rumble handled that pretty well. He's a good champion who can, not as good as, say, you know, Renekton, who can 1v2 in a lane easy, but, or I don't necessarily say easy, but easier than a lot of champions. Rumble is very, very mobile. He can slow you. And actually, you see an engage coming in down the bot lane. Zach trying to jump in. Fiddlesticks getting hit up by that Nautilus. And it doesn't
Diana had a beautiful Q over the wall.
Doesn't look like
Fiddlesticks
there's actually going to be coming out but as I was saying, Rumble very, very mobile. And, you know, if there is a gank and tons of damage going to this Renekton, he's in big trouble.
Burning with that early Leandries.
Yeah, like I was saying, you know, going up against someone tanky like that, Rumble's definitely going to want to get that. And yeah, you know, it does give that magic pen as well. But Rumble being so mobile, especially with that shield on top of it, is very, very handy. So, you know, every time you get ganked, it's just, you can basically run away. Unless you
barrier baits! Almost coming through. The barrier bait's almost coming through. But Diana hadn't burned her actual ult that puts it on cooldown. She got it off cooldown by using her Q, so she was able to just jump right back in onto that one and finish Orianna off. It was almost just enough to make Diana walk away thinking, oh, my Ignite's going to be able to finish him off. But no, it in turn wasn't enough. And as I said, Nautilus is jungle now. Nautilus picks up a second blue buff of 2 out of 3 he has picked up on the side of NBE. So LZH is reigning supreme in this tournament, really. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen them in this tournament so far. I don't think I've ever seen them.
This is the first time we've seen their appearance in True Damage.
I feel like I've seen Rabid Bunny, but that's the only person I really feel like I've seen in this tournament. Other than that, I feel like this might be a completely new team. And this is, I think, the first team that's ever actually been sponsored by anyone. By the way, they are sponsored.
An esports team like this. That's pretty outrageous. But, you know, it's a shame our own team, True Damage Academy, is not good on this. And Fiddlesticks using his ultimate, he's just staying right on top of that Varus. Of course, it does not look there will be enough damage.
Caitlyn ultimate, not quite enough. And then Janna walks in onto a trap, so she can't surprise them and get more damage off. And hold them down until Nautilus can get here. But Nautilus does engage on into Orianna. Diana's coming in as well. Depth charge used, all of the CC going down in onto Orianna. I don't think they're going to be able to find any picks there. Renekton getting bursted down by Rumble once again. He just is going to pop his ultimate, as Renekton is forced to pop his as well. I thought he had turned around too early, but he popped the Ignite. So, thought the Rumble was going to turn around too early and not get enough damage, but Ignite plus Leandries was enough to burn him down. 6-3 in kills in favor of LZH. LZH is really, really huge right now. They have a 2,500 gold lead at 14 minutes. Now, we've seen, obviously, bigger gold leads in this in all of the games before, but those games weren't normal. As you see, Diana's going under the turret, diving onto this Orianna. They're not going to find much else because Actually, they find a good hook in onto Orianna. She got out of position. The shockwave comes through. A good shockwave onto both of them. But Diana has these cooldowns down, and she just continues to put out these crazy strikes. As she might engage again in onto Zac. She does. Pops his passive, and they're probably going to be able to easily take this one down as Renekton comes in to try to oppose this. Nautilus picks up another kill. Diana taking this tower. Nautilus flashes out as well. And it looks like they're going to be able to make a clean escape, not too much moving speed on the side of Renekton with those tier 1 boots. Rumble, because Renekton did not go straight back up into the top and was able to pick up that tier 1 turret. So for their second turret of the game, excuse me, because they just pick up that mid turret as well. So mid, top, gone. Top turret, not too good. I guess not too big of a loss because you don't really get any positioning other than Baron, and Baron's really not that big of a deal in as it stands with tier 1 turrets falling. Mid turret, it gives you all that vision in mid, all around blue buff, all around a little bit of dragon control. Bot lane, if you lose that, you get a ton of dragon control and red buff control. So losing your bot and mid turrets are really, really important. Mid turret especially because it's the shortest lane. But top lane, But Rumble's now going to have the roaming potential, and Rumble roaming, Rumble in the jungle, man.
It can be very, very dangerous.
It's happening.
He can pop out of nowhere. His ultimate range, it's not so large as it could be.
It's annoyingly large.
Once it hits its level 3 mark, its range is quite incredible, especially if you're just starting it from the tip of your range. You can extend it out past that.
That's what I mean. Like the starting range isn't too OP, but the range that it can go to is pretty OP.
So of course they did change it quite a while ago, actually.
So it doesn't do.
It doesn't deal initial damage. Instead, it just deals more damage over time. Instead,
it's just
and it sees a contest coming to this dragon. Fiddlesticks, his channel was actually canceled right there by that Janna tornado, and he was picked up very nice and easily by that Nautilus. Diana just going in full rage mode, trying to pick up as many kills as possible. She does take down that Caitlyn. Rumble going in, being able to pick down that Zac. Of course, Nautilus being able to finish up that dragon as his team is pushing away the rest of blue side.
Rumble's not too scared of coming out of the jungle and just diving this Orianna under turret. No one's really here to support her, and now that they have 3 men here, she's definitely going to go down Rumble. But Nautilus is going to pick up that kill. He is dominating. He is 6-0, 2 from Legendary. Who was it? It was an Asian team. I can't even remember. It was an Asian team, and it was a common pro player. He's a jungler. He jungled Nautilus and went full attack speed. He still went tank, but it was like Wit's End was like his big item, and he went up to like 2.0 attack speed. It was pretty crazy. It was awesome, and he went like 10-2. His team still lost because his team just underperformed, but
yeah, Nautilus is definitely a funny champion depending on how you build them.
He's a really, really strong champion, and it's kind of funny how he got brought back into the scene because nothing happened to him.
Yeah, recently he just kind of come back.
Nothing happened to Nautilus. They didn't buff him. They didn't nerf him. They didn't give him any insight. They didn't make a new skin for him. Like, he just literally got brought back. All of a sudden, someone was like, "Oh, it's like Leona, but they can jungle him." Like,
I'm looking at the item builds that everyone kind of has right now, and I'm actually kind of upset looking at what Renekton has. He is having a little bit of trouble with this Rumble, and so I can understand some of his magic resistance, but I do not like, he needs to get that Sunfire Gate because that's going to be a lot of the damage that he does. Being someone tanky like Renekton, of course you can kind of shred down armor and such, but the damage that Sunfire Cape can deal from a tank is just ridiculous, especially in a large team.
When did they buff Nautilus? I don't ever remember them buffing Nautilus. Please incite me on this. Maybe I was wrong. Send a link to the patches or something. I don't think it was... Because they started playing Nautilus like a while ago. I mean, this isn't a new play of Nautilus, but I don't think they ever buffed him. They might have made some changes to him, but nothing super significant that all of a sudden made him viable again. Jungle Leona can be okay. I'd like to see it. Once the Koreans start doing it, I'll believe it. Nothing's actually good until Koreans start doing it.
Koreans always come up
so
with like
3 to 13 in kills. That's pretty big at 20 minutes. Not as big as the 40 to 5 that we had in the first game. Nautilus coming in, going to be pulling in onto this Orion. They're going to just be able to just dive on these turrets willy-nilly as much as they want. Nautilus going to be able to 1v1 this Oriana. She has too many shields though, barrier, and all that, and the Janna shield and everything. Actually, that's my bad. Nautilus 1v3ing under 2 turrets, and he does get taken down eventually. Finally shut down after 7 kills. That's kind of sad when the AD carry can 1v1 the tank, not gonna lie. But he has built all magic resist, which is sometimes pretty. I mean, he just noticed that. He was like, oh, you built all magic resist, so I'm gonna just be able to 1v1 you. And the combo coming in, the fear ult combo coming in from them is gonna be, from Caitlyn and 46 is gonna be enough. We have
picking up turrets everywhere.
Kennen actually, he was touched a little bit. They took his ultimate and they made his ultimate not have an energy cost. He was the one ninja, an energy user, that had an energy cost on his ultimate, and with the high energy cost on his E, people didn't like him that much because it was always like, you always had to pick out what skills you wanted to use at what time. It was really hard to utilize him because you couldn't always lightning rush, ult in, and then W, so it was really hard to use that. They increased Nautilus armor per level 1 patch.
Armor per level can be good.
I don't know. I don't think that made him all of a sudden really viable though. Maybe because like armors.
It definitely can help. But
yeah, but I don't. Maybe that just was like they saw the patch and they're like, wait, he's a champion. So that's what happened. They saw the patch. He's a champion again. I thought they took him off. So about a 10,000, a lot of gold lead. There's a huge gold lead. There's about an 8,000 gold lead in favor of LZH.
A lot of power emanating from LZH
Yes.
right now. You know, as you saw before, they were just picking up turrets left and right, getting objectives. They were basically at blue side's mid inhibitor at one point.
Even though the turret wasn't even down
with
yet.
The second turret still up.
The inner turret was still up. Yeah, Sejuani
Definitely.
is so good now with her recent rework. She's not to the point where it's dumb powerful. I feel like she was still powerful before the rework, but people just didn't play her as much. But after the rework, she's a lot more played, and I actually do like the new Sejuani. I think it's really, really strong. And if you can play her right, you can 1v1 just about anyone.
Why people get Blade the Rune King on Renekton? It can have a lot to do with who you're up against. In this scenario, I don't really see why. Rumble's not that tanky of a top laner. Nautilus, kinda. Diana can get sort of beefy. But in this scenario, you don't really need it. Because, you know, when you're up against other tanks that...
As you see the big engage coming in, Zac flashing in and going with the let's bounce. Maybe this will actually be a team in favor of the blue side, but it doesn't look like as Diana is just going to come in and face roll Ravage Bunny on that Diana. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. A good shockwave onto 4 people of LZH, but Varus is man-moding it from the back line. What is up with the Varus? And then he's just going to be able to take down a bunch of people, giving Rumble the triple kill. And it looks like it's going to be the quadra kill. Quadra kill from Rumble. We've seen it here today, ladies and gentlemen. We saw our first Penta, and now we're going to see our first, another quadra kill. So, yes. Yes, Blade the Rune King does help and engage, and a lot of people would split push with Renekton, so that's a good thing to have with him. Also, people like to build a little bit of AD on Renekton, like a Brutalizer or something along those lines before they go full tank. And
getting that Black Cleaver, you know, with his Slice and Dice can actually really
I usually go Brutalizer and then just go straight tank and eventually go Black Cleaver sometime late game. Yeah, the Varus, that backline Varus was, he's actually the tank on their team. Yeah.
Very, very powerful, you know, and Rumble we saw leaving after that quadra kill. He was totally looking for that pentakill. We saw Oriana near the blue off. They had the ward on her, and he was going for her, but she was able to recall before he could quite make it, which is a shame. But quadra kill, and that's fantastic to see.
Hydra and Black Cleaver. I can agree with that. I would do that. Yes, in the right comp, of course. But if you have a really tanky jungler like Zac, maybe more or less like Nautilus or Zac. You see 1v2 in this bottom lane. Varus going to pick out the Caitlyn. He is able to get that one. Would he be able to 1v2 and actually get the double play? A good amount of damage. No, he splattered onto his face and does end up picking up that one. So finally, a good kill on the AD carry, shutting him down. Actually, he only had 2 kills because Rumble's been stealing them all. But finally going to shut him down out of there, and Zac might be able to actually go pick up some items. See, Renekton with that Bilgewater Cutlass is actually forced to go for a Spirit Visage or Visage, whatever you like to say. which gives him a little more heal on his Q, but it's not going to really help him at all.
As you can see, he used it, and it is not doing pretty much anything at all.
He's still getting destroyed.
He had not much damage, not enough tank. He was just destroyed by a Nautilus and Rumble.
Yeah.
You know, just basically melting him. There was not much they could do. He was just on lockdown the entire time.
And now they're picking out the Baron buff. They do have the Renekton, of course, down. That's a huge AoE for their team and a huge stun as well. But Zach is still up, and Zach on their team, he's still in the mix a little bit. Orianna actually is going to get caught out by this Diana. She's probably going to be able to take this one down. Fiddlesticks is going to come in and get the fear. He's going to ult in. Will it be enough though? He get the 3-second fear does come down as well as with Zach. It looks like Diana's going to be taken down. The Rumble up is sent out. Let's bounce. It comes in, and the Shockwave is going to finish off Diana. Zach goes ahead and bounces out. John is going to recall in the backline safe and sound as all of NVE is forced to back off. They are not looking too good here. A 12,000 gold lead in favor of LZH, and about a 13 kill lead, and a 5 tower lead. Yes, we have Dead Robot saying the throws.
I wouldn't necessarily. It's been a throw.
That was just a misplay. That was just getting caught. I would say if it happened again, then yes, I would consider that a throw. But wow, that Panda. So my internet loves to mess up. I'm very sorry, Panda. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Panda. If you didn't know, so everyone say hello to Panda. He is actually a mod. I don't want to do that though, because whenever you tab out of the game, it makes it look fuzzy. If you want to mod.
Yeah, I got you. No worries.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, dog.
Yeah, because I'm cool like that.
Panda, shut up. Panda says, hello, Panda.
It does actually look like this Orianna being attacked by that Nautilus and Fiddlesticks.
They faked out the engage, and they're like, we're going to go in on Orianna. And then it's like, no, don't go in on my. Okay, we'll go in on you instead. So they kind of faked out. Now, oh my gosh, it's completely evaporated with that Caitlyn. And now they're going to continue to engage. Channel Corruption did miss. And now we can see that they're just going to continue to engage and run for the rest of blue team. And they get the inhibitor, first inhibitor of the game, and statistic. 97%
there you go, 97%
are one.
Get that first inhibitor are the ones who win. So I mean, all fingers are pointing towards LZH winning this one. You know, they have the advantage in pretty much every way. We have actually not really looked at CS, but looking at it, the only one who's winning in CS is Fiddlesticks support, who's beating the
wow. That Fiddlesticks, I mean, I didn't really expect him to not get just completely eviscerated, but he basically just walked into that bush and just got duped on almost immediately. The gold lead is still just 12,000. That Fiddlesticks is worth nothing. They're just going to go back and they're going to safely do Baron. No really contesting any of that. So now we see the Baron being picked up, and blue team's just going to recall safely and probably just prepare for a final push. So ladies and gentlemen, we were at 21 viewers earlier, and now we're back down to 14. So stream is the tournament should be over not too long. I wouldn't say more than like 15 minutes. So please get some people on the stream if you guys want to see the giveaways. One giveaway if it's at 20 viewers, and the second giveaway if it's at 25 viewers. So yes, I assume some are in game. That is a chance. There's a chance of that. So yes, please stick around, guys. Please, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, that is possible. Dead Robots, you know, some are in game. I know some people's internets can't necessarily support that, but I would imagine these guys being esports and such, definitely possible. But this looks like they could be preparing for the final push coming down in the top lane. Everyone's coming together. Even blue side knows, and they are coming down. They are preparing for the final assault. And watching this for the instant replay, Revenge Bunny, yes, most definitely.
Good engagement with Nautilus. Catch up with Orianna as that comes in and left down completely immediately evaporated as well. Popped into his pass. They're probably just going to be taken down just out of everyone stepping all over him in the middle, but not really carrying it. He is actually going to make it back. He actually makes it back in this lava form. He's going to jump farther out into the jungle. They don't even notice that he doesn't get taken down. Oh my gosh, that was actually kind of silly. They're just not even going to care about him though. They're just going on into the base. Rumble going to throw down his ultimate so all the minions just walk out and just immediately die. actually even get hit by it. So yes,
Yes, this Nautilus has definitely been playing very, very well this game. Zach coming right out of the base and immediately going down. Zani's being caught from that Rumbles. And
that is the Nautilus.
Yes.